Hi, my name is Sierra, and I want to tell you how you can go from wanting to buy a house to actually buying a house in 7 really easy steps. So let's get into it. All right, first things first is that you're going to need to understand your budget. You need to talk to whoever you're buying this house with, whether it is a spouse or a parent or whatever. You need to figure out what your monthly budget is. And what I mean by this is I don't mean what the bank is going to tell you your budget is. I mean what you want to spend each month. Nobody wants to go house broke, and I want to help you to avoid that. So decide what your monthly budget is. And then step number 2 is to find a lender. Now, here's the thing about step number 2. You could do step number 3 first, which is find a real estate agent, or you can do step number 2. It really doesn't matter. These are interchangeable. So however you want to do it. Some agents like to help their clients find a lender because we do have people that we work with in our area that we know, like, and trust. Okay. And those people, we like working with them because if we have a question, we know that we're going to be able to reach them and things like that. So you may want to find an agent first. You may just want to go ahead and look into the loan process. If you've had a home loan before, maybe use who you had before if you liked the process. If not, find an agent first. Ask them who they would recommend. But the very important part about picking a lender and a real estate agent, and anyone really that's a part of your transaction, is that you do not have to work with anybody that you do not want to work with. I will say this till I'm blue in the face. I work in a service-based industry, and I want you to want to work with me. If you don't want to work with me, then you're not doing yourself a good service, and you're not doing me any good service by making yourself work with me. I want you to work with somebody who you want to work with. This needs to be somebody that you can get to know, someone you can learn to like, and someone who you can learn to trust, or at least somebody you can do these things with for the period of your transaction. Okay. This is going to make your process go so much smoother. Okay? All you have to do is shoot me a text and ask me a question. And guess what? I'm there for you. You need that level of comfort with your agent and with your lender. That is just, you are going to get yourself off to a much better start just being ready in that way. So once you have found an agent and a lender, you need to get pre-approved. Okay, this is part of that process. Once you decide on a lender and you start working with them, you need to get pre-approved. This is going to be where they're asking you for like W-2s, tax statements, bank statements, those sort of things. And that is how they are going to determine your eligibility just for the pre-approval. Step number 4 is you are going to start the house hunt. And so this is most people's favorite part. And you have a few different options. And the first one is that if you are able to be in person, and I say able to be in person because I serve a lot of military families and we are a military family ourselves, we do not always get to be in our area and actually look at houses. But if you're fortunate enough to be, then you can schedule a private tour with your real estate agent. And what that's going to do is you are going to meet them at the house. You will be the only one at the house. And you get to walk through and they will tell you some things about the house that you need to know, want to know. And yeah, you get to have the house to yourself for a little bit while you take a look at the houses. Then option number 2, rather, is that you can go to open houses. So for a while, we didn't really see a lot of open houses. COVID kind of that. But we do have open houses again. And in our area, you can find an open house pretty much anytime on the weekend. And this is a great opportunity to go without your agent necessarily. Your agent can go with you, but I like open houses because as a buyer, you can go and look at different neighborhoods and stuff. You can take your time. You're not going from one appointment to the next appointment. If you have several open houses, you might feel a little more time pressure, but you get to go and you can look at the different neighborhoods and kind of decide if this is somewhere you would want to live or not live. And it's just a great way to be able to go look at houses. And when you go in, the agent who's hosting it, they will definitely ask you if you have an agent. So you can just let them know that you do. But they may also show you around the house and tell you some things that you might want to know about the house. The third option is that you can do virtual tours. And I specialize in virtual tours because I serve a lot of clients who are overseas. And obviously, they're not just jumping on over here for a showing. So, virtual tours happen on any kind of like video calling platform. You can do it on Google Meet or FaceTime or Facebook. And it's a great option for people who are not able to physically be present. I specialize in this because that is actually how I bought my house. And so I have a firsthand look and opinion on virtual tours. So I have actually helped many clients buy a house and they've never seen the house until after they've already actually bought it. So kind of a cool thing that I get to do. And I really enjoy seeing people see their house in person for the first time. It's really cool. And step number 5 is that you need to make an offer. Remember that when you are going to make an offer, your agent is the expert on this market. And if you really like this house, you need to listen to your agent. There are a lot of intricacies beyond just the price that you're willing to pay for a house. So talk to your agent and express how much you like or kind of where you're at with this house. You know, if you have to rate it on a scale from 1 to 10, 10 you love it, 1 you no. If you're a 1, you probably shouldn't be offering on it, right? But, rate it if you have to, okay? And then the next step is that after your offer is accepted and you are under contract, you need to have a home inspection done. I don't know a single real estate agent that does not have multiple inspection companies that they recommend. So get with your agent and talk to these inspectors. And again, don't work with somebody that you don't want to work with. Work with somebody you like and that you feel comfortable with. And ask them a couple questions. The first question I recommend you ask is, what services do you provide with your residential home inspection? And then number 2, if they have any discounts, such as a first-time home buyer's discount or a military discount. A lot of times they do something for those categories. And if not, that's okay. Sometimes things shift and they do or they don't, but it doesn't hurt to ask. And once you have picked a home inspector, then you need to let your agent know who you've picked, and then they will set up a home inspection. I personally attend every single home inspection because I want to be sure that I am representing you best. And in my opinion, being there for your home inspection allows me to convey what we need done as far as repairs to the seller in a more efficient and correct way. So I like to be there and actually have my eyes on whatever deficiencies the home inspector finds. If you want to be at the home inspection, you can. You don't have to be. It's totally up to you. All right. Step number 7 is that you wait on your loan to process and you close. So those are kind of like 2 in 1, but I say 7 because there's really not a lot for you to do after the home inspection. So for this step, you basically are just waiting on the lender to finish their side of things and get your clear to close. So during this time, make sure you are not spending any massive sums of money and that you are not going out and buying a new car or doing anything, opening a new line of credit to be able to buy furniture for your house. You don't want to do any of that during this time because it can get your loan declined. And if your loan gets declined, you're going to be sad. I'm going to be sad. Everybody is going to be sad. Okay. So let's not do that. But once you have gotten through all that process, the appraisal is done, then, it's really, you're just waiting. So spend this time to pack some boxes and really just get ready for your move. And if your lender needs anything, they will reach out. And if there's any update, then your agent will reach out. So, you're just kind of waiting. And then about 3 days before closing, you will get something called a clear to close. Those are my favorite words to ever come from a lender. Should also be your favorite words. That means that you are good to go and that closing can happen. So on closing day, I do a final walkthrough And every agent does that differently. Some do it like the day before. I just do mine on the day of closing, do a final walkthrough, make sure everything looks good, and then you go to closing. Closing can happen at a multitude of places. However, here in Georgia and South Carolina, it happens at an attorney's office. So you will go to the attorney's office and you will sign a bunch of papers. And then you will get the keys to your house, and that's it. So I hope that if you are a first-time home buyer, this breaks down the process a little bit for you, or maybe you've bought several houses and you just needed a refresher. I hope that this was helpful. And if you are ever headed towards Augusta, Georgia, or the Fort Eisenhower, used to be Fort Gordon area, I would be honored to help you. So please give me a call. And yeah, I hope that we connect soon. But anyways, I hope that this was helpful, and I hope you have a great day. All right, bye.